Well, you can now add fingerprints to the evidence that allegedly ties two Spokane teenagers to a fatal beating that killed a World War II veteran. New court documents also add conspiracy to the charges against Keaton Adam Kennard and Demetrius Glenn. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey joins us live at the Juvenile Detention Center, where the pair are towing the line when it comes to strict rules of conduct. Jeff?
Kylie, even though Glenn and Adams Kennard are being prosecuted as adults, state law allows for them to be housed here in the Juvenile Detention Center until they turn 18. However, Juvie Hall is hardly a less restrictive environment than our adult jail. In fact, in many ways, it's harder. Right now, these two murder suspects are enjoying very little in the way of privileges for the safety of the staff and other offenders. Whenever these two teens are briefly out of their solitary confinement cells, they are isolated from the rest of the population. However, if over time Glenn and Adams Kennard can show they can follow some very strict codes of conduct, they might earn small rewards like chapstick or the opportunity to go to Juvie Hall's high school. It's the hardcore accountability these young really should have gotten many years ago.
And so if you behave appropriately, follow the rules, do what you're supposed to, then you can earn privileges within the confines of our facility here.
And Kylie, that on-the-spot accountability is one reason why 2 out of every 3 kids who end up spending time in juvenile detention don't re-offend and come back. Unfortunately, that type of intervention comes too late for these 2 young men and their alleged victim, Mr. Belton.
And Jeff, tell us about the latest evidence in this case.
Well, these forensic technicians, they processed Mr. Belton's car and they dusted it and recovered lots of prints. They then took those latent images from both inside and outside the vehicle, compared them to the suspect's fingerprints, and found a match. And while that doesn't sound like a big deal because one of the suspects has already allegedly confessed to this crime, sometimes those statements can be thrown out in court. Of course, major crimes detectives, they want to have as much evidence on hand as they can.